Check, check, check. This video is going to be a little bit different from my PowerDirector 17 videos. I want to talk to you guys about audio. And audio is super important. And I have a lot of new people, a lot of newbies, a lot of people that don't understand the basics even. So you might find this video interesting. Right now you are listening to audio on the Tascam 40, which is this box here. And the audio is coming in from this bar through this wire on a mic on my shirt. And that's where the audio is coming from. But this Tascam recorder does a lot more. You can get smaller ones too. This has two mics on top, as you can see. And I can literally get this right up to a bumblebee, and you can hear the sounds of a bumblebee as it's buzzing from flower to flower. The sounds of a stream, the sounds of birds. I mean, the sound is amazing of everything I can do. I don't like buying things. So if I can buy a gadget like the Tascam 40, go out and record my own sound, a car squealing its tires, city, people around me, a crowd, I can use that now in my own videos, and I don't have to buy them because I made them myself. And that's kind of neat. Now, but how do you get the audio from the Tascam into PowerDirector? Well, it has a chip and an SD chip, or you can plug a USB cord into it, and you dump the audio from the gadget into your computer. Now, in PowerDirector, you're going to load that audio file, and then you have your video file. You're going to load them both in there, and then you're going to drop them on your timelines, and you're going to sync them up. I have a video that shows you how to sync your audio. I'll link up there, wherever, and you can go check that out. And before I start my video, what I do is I click record on my camera, I start record on my Tascam, and then right away I go check, 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 let's go. So that way the clapping is what starts syncing up right away in the video, which makes it easier for it to sync up. That's all I do. Now you can do the same procedure with a cell phone. Everybody's got a cell phone, right? You can buy a $15 lapel mic and hook it to your cell phone. There are tons of free programs out there. And you can turn around and start recording great audio. And the audio will sound okay. Don't record the audio in the camera. Now think about that for a minute. I've had people ask me, do I need to buy a $1,200 camera? Like, I'm running a Canon 80D here right now. And people will say, do I need to buy a $1,200 camera to make YouTube videos? No. No, you don't. I mean, you could use two cell phones. You could use one cell phone that has turned it sideways so you don't get that long skinny thing. And you could be recording sound on another cell phone. And you could do it that way. You could look on Marketplace on Facebook, Craigslist, take your pick, your local newspaper. And you could probably find a camera, as long as it does 1080p HD, you're off and running. Because you're going to record the video on your camera, you're going to record your audio on a different device, whether it be a Tascam or something else. Now you'll see a lot of vloggers that'll run these cameras, and then they'll run these shotgun mics on top. These really aren't that clear. They're okay, but they're not that clear. And the reason they're doing this is because it saves time on editing. So you think about this. I got this on top of my camera, say, and I'm doing my vlog, and I'm talking to my camera. Basically, I dump the video file, I put it in PowerDirector, and I'm off in editing. I'm not messing with anything else. I don't have to sync it. But to sync video in PowerDirector, it really is only 2 steps. It's not that. Now, if you want to get crazy expensive, I mean, you could go into a Sennheiser wireless system, and these aren't cheap. And you got a unit on top of the camera. This connects to me, and it sits in my pocket. It's wireless. It goes a long ways. And this company, Sennheiser, they're an amazing company. I have probably dropped this 50 times on concrete, sidewalks there, and it still works. I did have to replace my mic at one time. I think that was $150. I had to replace this clip that clips on my belt one time. I think that was $40. I mean, but I've had these things forever. And this is amazing if you want to go wireless. And this is how the wireless sounds, by the way. So, depending on the options you want to use determines your audio. So how do you know which one to use? How do you know which one you're going to like? You got to know what type of videos you're taking. If you were, for example, doing vlogging, which one's better? The shorter one or the longer one? You have to decide that by going and searching some YouTube videos and listening to more than one on how they sound. These plug directly into your camera, and the audio's right in your camera. And I think the longer one sounds better. Okay, but there's limitations with the longer one for me. Like, for example, when I go to an animal park, I'm taking photos with my Canon 80D. And this is too long. If I point it toward me, I can't get my eye on the eyepiece. Where this one, I can. It's shorter. Now, I also have two of these. Now, the reason I have two of these is because I can do what's called stereo. I hook these up on a different bar on my camera, and I got another gadget that plugs into these, and it plugs into my camera. Now, one's pointing at me, and I'm talking to it. The other one is pointing at the birds, or whatever I'm recording. So I could be talking and recording whatever animal I want at the same time. That's the reason for this setup. Now, if I was going to do vlogging, and I was going to invest a little bit of money, I wouldn't go with a shotgun. I really wouldn't. It just doesn't put out that great of sound. I mean, that's when I'm lazy and I grab something quick. But if I'm going crazy, I would literally run probably a Tascam. There is a model below this, which is, I don't know, like $100, and run a lapel mic off of it. And it's about half the size of this one. And I would run that for sound. You can even buy a unit that connects to this, that sits on top of your camera and points at you if you're vlogging. I think that would be much better sound than these. But you have to determine that in your own videos when you're making them. And the best way, go look at a bunch of people that have whatever you're thinking about buying. I'll even have a link to a super cheap shotgun mic. I think it's like $30. And you can go check that out, and then go search YouTube for some guys that have used it. It sounds pretty good. It's not bad. It doesn't sound as good as these, the Rhodes, but it sounds pretty good. It will get you by. And I'll have a link to that one too. But don't buy whatever I'm telling you to buy here, or use whatever I'm using. Make your own decision. Really think about, what am I going to be using my camera for? And that's very important. If you were backpacking and you were using your camera and you're thinking, well, I'm going to be away from the camera, I have to get audio, and you have the money, maybe the wireless system would be a better way to go. Or maybe you could just use your cell phone, connect a microphone to it, sync up the audio, and you can use that for everything. If anything from all this I've showed you, do not buy those 100-foot, 50-foot cords. Do not buy them. You will break your camera. And anytime you tether something from your camera, believe me, somebody's going to step on it. You're going to wreck your camera. Don't even do it. So really look into, because there's so many options out there, there's no reason to use some super long cord. I mean, like I said, you could use a cell phone with a $15 lapel mic. You could buy a Tascam for $100. You can put a mic on top for $30. I mean, there's a lot of choice when it comes to audio for your video taking. And don't think, I got to buy the best of the best. When you start getting into these more expensive units like this Tascam, this does a lot. And as a new person, you might find it extremely confusing. You may want to buy the smaller unit that costs like $100 because you don't have as many choices. And that's the thing. I mean, this thing comes with a manual. I mean, you've got to sit down and read that manual. You can't just guess and say, okay, I'm ready to go. That's not how it works. Now, this here, yeah, plug it in and go. I think I set it up. I spent maybe 20 minutes setting this up, this Sennheiser, and it's been set the same for years. If I had to go back and set it again, I wouldn't even know what I'm doing probably. I'd have to go look at a video just to figure this out because it's been so long. But normally I just plug this in, turn it on, and go. Anyhow, there's a bunch of options for audio. I'll have some links below of what I got. But like I said, don't buy what I run unless that's what you need. Also, don't forget to check eBay and check your other sites where you might be able to get some used stuff and save yourself some money. But you truly are doing video and audio in two separate items. You're not doing it all in one unless it's plugged directly into the camera. At any rate, guys, I'll catch you guys on the next one.